Another quick thing I wanted to talk about is this right here. A common EU consumer protections W. I have been talking about this for a long time. Basically, this is a very long thing. I skimmed through it. If you want to read through it, it's on the official European Commission website. You can go through this whole thing. But basically, what this boils down to is they want to start targeting these techniques of obfuscating the value of money, right? So when you have, like, you use $5 to buy 50 doubloons, and you use the 50 doubloons to buy something else, the only reason why the doubloons exist is to obfuscate the value of money, in the same way that people... like, there's a whole psychological effect where people are less likely to spend money if they use physical money as opposed to a credit card, right? Is the same thing with this. This is fundamentally designed just to hide how much money you're spending. I have no idea how this has not been outlawed years ago. Literally, this serves no purpose other than harming the consumer. Literally nothing else. This adds no value, nothing to the consumer, nothing to the business, with the exception of making more money through basically yoinking people's cash through a weird obfuscation, right? So this is basically what's going on. So they're not banning virtual currencies outright, but next to the doubloons, you're going to have to list the actual price. And through this, you're not going to have this weird situation where... Because, like, even if you know that, like, 750, whatever these doubloons are, is $5, actually seeing it right in front of you is probably going to evoke a much different reaction. Now, personally, I would ban this stuff outright. In a perfect world, this would not exist, period. Everything that you can buy, everything, from DLC to skins to literally everything, no questions asked, would be listed in money. If you can buy it, it's money. And that's it. Because otherwise, again, it serves no purpose. And it's also going to be funny that people can't argue about things being pay to win or not, because now they'll actually have a, like, actual dollar value right next to it. So it's not going to be like, oh, but it's not pay to win because you're not actually paying to win. You see, you're using money to buy virtual currency, and you're using virtual currency to buy something else, which then makes you better. Yeah, no. You could just buy it with real money. If there's a way to get that currency by playing or paying... I mean, the whole thing about earning something and earning currency, I think that's like that's just another aspect of this, right? Because realistically, why would you need to create this, create a system where you can earn stuff, but you can also buy the stuff that you earn, right? Why couldn't you just earn the things, and then you can buy the thing outright? Like, why do we need this middle step, right? I think a lot of this stuff is just, again, fundamentally designed to hide the actual value of money, and that's it. There's a price tag next to my Fortnite skin. I don't know how this is actually going to be enforced. I don't. But I hope this is, like, actually them locking in on this kind of stuff. And I mean everything. Because this also talks about FOMO, right? Right here. The use of pressuring techniques such as purchase through limited time practices. So this is like 900% value, buy before it disappears forever. And this stuff, like, again... it literally serves no purpose other than evoking an emotional reaction and making people buy stuff. And they're obviously talking about, like, children spending money, right? But, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, all of this stuff is, like, actually in the proper usage of the term predatory and exploitative. By design. Yeah, this is, like, a whole nother thing. I forgot what the term for this is, but this is another thing. So, basically... oh, there we go. So, you're selling this stuff, right? And something costs $20, but you can never actually buy the exact amount. So when you buy some of the doubloons, you will also have some doubloons left over. And then you're going to be like, well, I already paid for these doubloons. So now I have to buy more doubloons to spend my doubloons. And then you buy more doubloons and you spend the doubloons, but now you still have some left over, right? And again, that is by design. Every single one of these things is by design just to get as much money out of you as possible. There's a term for it, but I forgot what it is. Yeah, I don't remember. Children spending money like that is the fault of the parent. I agree with you, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be regulated. Because again, I don't care if this is working against a child or against an adult, it is still fundamentally exploitative. It doesn't matter who it's exploiting. It serves no purpose. Like, yes, if your kid is just using your credit card and you don't even know what's going on, that is your fault. Like, let's be real here, that is absolutely your fault. And no one should be crying that like your money got yoinked. You need to watch your credit cards, you need to watch your finances, you need to watch your kid, obviously, right? But, you know, after your second purchase, you'll have more doubloons left and you'll be even more inclined to buy. Exactly. There was like I've seen very funny examples of this where it literally like you can buy 980 gems or something like that, right? Where it's like not 1,000. And there was like another thing, I read another study about this, about satisfying numbers, right? And there was another thing about these, like people are more likely to spend these kinds of things to get a round number. And that is such a dumb thing, but people apparently do actually do this. So if you have 130 gems left over, they want to get rid of 30 gems. And if they can't, they would rather buy more and then just have them left over. It's really, really dumb. And that's why I hope they just get rid of it. If you can buy it, it should be listed in dollar value. That's what I hope this leads to. Every single virtual currency in my mind should just be... Not obviously every single virtual currency, because video games have virtual currencies. I'm talking about virtual currencies that you can buy with real world money. I don't think that middle step should exist. And if it does exist, every single thing that you can buy should be listed in a dollar value. Every single one. And I know this like sets a very dangerous not a dangerous precedent, but like a complicated precedent where, let's say you can use, for example, World of Warcraft, you can use... Actually, that's a very good point. What's going to happen with that? What happens if in World of Warcraft you can use money to buy the WoW token? The WoW token translates into gold, and you can buy anything in the game with gold. Now, wouldn't that be funny? If every single item in the game, literally every single one, has a dollar value next to it, I think that would be so funny. And I genuinely think this would make people actually have a wake-up moment. I do. I absolutely do. Because I think, like, people don't really think about these kinds of things, but when you see, like, how much money you're grinding out and how much money you're spending, you're gonna have this way I'm wasting my time type of vibe. And this is coming from a WoW player with, like, 30-something thousand hours. Why are price tags always like $9.99? It's because people focus on the first digit, and the first digit is going to be lower than 10. It's called a charm price. Right here. It's called charm pricing. I learned about all this stuff. I learned all the techniques that people are exploited at the supermarket. We had a retail course. I really liked the retail course was fascinating. That's when I learned about like how you stack shelves to sell more stuff and all that. People are really, really predictable when it comes to this kind of stuff. It just works. Horde or Alliance? Always Alliance. I am a human for life. Most of my characters were human. Makes sense, although I'm always rounding up when I buy stuff. That's the funny thing, because everyone does that. Everyone rounds up, but it still works. When you see $9.99, you're just gonna think it's $10. But it doesn't matter. The psychological effect still works. It's all kinds of messed up that it does, but it does. Man, I love the European protections for consumers. Imagine having a thing that is actually designed to protect consumers. Funny, isn't it? I hope it's enforced like really, really rigorously though.